qualities and values. So does the candidate project the image of a strong leader, kind of guy you'd like to meet in a bar, or somebody who cares about you and is just like you? My guess, I have no evidence, but I'm just guessing, is that Bush is very carefully trained to say things like nuclear and misunderestimate and all the other silliness that intellectuals like to ridicule. That's probably about as real as the ranch that was constructed for him and the rest of the whole folksy manner. After all, it would hardly do to present him as a spoiled frat boy from Yale who became rich and powerful because of his rich and powerful connections and family. Rather, the imagery projected has to be a guy just like us, not one of these fancy types. A guy who'll protect us, who cares about us, who shares about our moral values. That's the imagery, which is about as real as in toothpaste ads. Not surprisingly, it's done by the same people. Bush, in that case, the point is to undermine markets. In this case, the point is to undermine democracy. It's the same principle. Bush, if you look, received a large majority among voters who said that they were concerned primarily with moral values and terrorism. Now, as for Bush's moral values, there's an easy way to find out what they are. Read the business press the day after the election. It describes what I call the euphoria in corporate boardrooms and so on. That's not because CEOs are opposed to gay marriage. Actually, most of them are what are called liberals. I mean, their social values are about the same as, Canadian dimension, probably. If you want to learn more about their moral value, the Bush moral values, just observe the principle, basic principle, which is not concealed. The principle is that costs are to be transferred to your children and your grandchildren. Now, that's environmental costs, fiscal costs, and the rest. It's not concealed. And those are indeed the moral values. The point of the PR industry is to prevent you from seeing anything as obvious as that. What about terror? Well, the fact of the matter is that Bush's planners escalated the threat of terror, and pretty consciously. It had been predicted, even by their own intelligence agencies, that would be the consequence of the war in Iraq. And it turned out to be true. And they did it because it's just not a high priority for them. Surely as compared with much more serious goals, such as